Hello and welcome to your yoga power class. I am so excited that you're here. I'm so grateful that you decided to click on this video. If you like to practice with music, I would recommend pulling up a second YouTube tab and picking a playlist. Today, all you're going to need is yourself, a yoga mat or a soft surface, a water bottle, and maybe a sweat rag. Personally, I am a sweater, so if you're a sweater too, I would definitely recommend a rag. If you have all your stuff, we're ready to go. Meet me at the back of your mat in a wide-legged child's pose. Settle into your child's pose and begin to take deep inhales and exhales. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling out the mouth. As you breathe, try to inhale as much as you possibly can, and when you exhale, try to exhale out every single last bit of air. Keep going at your own pace. Walk your hands over to the left side of your mat and breathe into your side body. Walk your hands back to center and over to the opposite side. Continue to take deep inhales and exhales. Walk your hands back to center. Slowly begin to push yourself up into a box pose. Take your time, make sure that your knees are stacked under your hips. Begin to walk your hands forward and take a puppy pose. You can either have your chin on the mat or you can have your forehead on the mat. Whichever feels best to you, please take that. Push up out of your puppy pose and into a box pose, ensuring that your shoulders are stacked on top of your wrist. Bend your elbows as you take a chaturanga push-up and push back into a child's pose. Push forward, chaturanga push-up, and back into your child's pose. Make sure that when you're taking these push-ups that your elbow is super close into your rib cage, and ensure that your core is engaged. Keep going at your own pace. You're doing great. One more. And on your last one, come all the way down onto your stomach. Engage your whole back body as you float your hands and you float your feet off the mat. You should feel the engagement through the whole back of your body. Exhale, release down to the mat. We're going to go again. You're doing fantastic. This time, put your fingertips behind your neck and float. Come up as high as you possibly can. Release your back body and bring your palms by your rib cage. Push all the way up for an upward facing dog. Begin to take some neck stretches that feel nice to you. I'm choosing to look left, right, and then glance up. Release your upward facing dog, your left ear's on the mat. Bend your right leg and let it fall over to the opposite side of the mat. Untwist your body, float your right knee back down to the mat, and switch ears. Right ear's on the mat, left leg bends, and pull it over to the opposite side. Unwind your body and push up into a plank pose. You have the option to be on your toes or you can be on your knees. Exhale, bend your elbows, lower all the way down onto the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Continue with your deep inhales and exhales. Inhale, come up on your tippy toes. And exhale, walk yourself forward. Grab opposite elbows and hang like a rag doll. Bend your knees as much as you can to get your upper body to rest on your legs. Release your elbows, halfway lift. Forward fold, getting your nose to touch your legs possibly. Inhale, slow rise up, mountain pose, arms come up over your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, big reach up. Exhale, forward fold, dive over your lap. Inhale, halfway lift. Straight back. Left leg lifts up, flex your foot. Hold here, or you can take a balance challenge, maybe getting your hand to go around your ankle. Release your leg. Opposite leg lifts up, still flexing your foot. Make sure that your hips are squared off. Stay here or take a balance challenge. Release your floating leg and meet me in a downward facing dog. Walk your feet out to be mat width. Right hand reaches back for your left ankle, taking a twist, glancing under your shoulder. Release your arm, opposite arm reaches back. Release back into your downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up, 3-point down dog. Bring your knee to touch your left elbow. Push back, downward facing dog. Knee touches right elbow, downward facing dog. Step all the way through crescent pose. Inhale, arms come up. As you exhale, charge your arms backwards and your chest forward. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, arms come back. One more time. Push all the way up, warrior 3. Make sure that your back foot is flexed and your hips are even. Lower back down, crescent pose. Right arm comes down to the mat, taking a twist. Rise up, keeping your twisted arms, skandasana to the back of your mat. Bend your back leg. Push all the way forward, warrior 2. Take your flow through, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up, 3-point down dog. Right knee pulls through to touch your right elbow, 3-point down dog. Knee touches left elbow, 3-point down dog. Step through, crescent. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, charge your chest forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, charge. Inhale, arms up. Big push up, warrior 3. Flex your foot. Make sure that your hips are squared off to the mat. Bend your front leg, crescent pose. Left hand to the mat, twisted crescent pose. Rise up, keeping your arms how they are. Pivot, skandasana to the back of your mat. Big launch off with that back leg, warrior two to the front. Take your flow through or go straight to your downward facing dog. Come up and down on your tippy toes to wake up your calf muscles. Last one. Left leg lifts, 3-point down dog. Pull your knee through to touch left elbow, then right elbow, then right elbow. Keep going side to side. Push back, 3-point down dog. Step through, crescent pose. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, straight to your warrior three. Flex your back foot. Back to your crescent lunge. Right arm comes down, twisted crescent. Rise up, skandasana, back of the mat. Warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle. One more time. Inhale, reverse, straighten your front leg. Exhale, hinge forward, take a Trikonasana pose. Maybe you need to walk your front leg in. That's perfectly fine. Shorten your stance if you need to. Straighten your front leg and pretend as if you're in between two panes of glass. So try to get your shoulders and your hips to be in one straight line. Glance forward, launch off with your back leg into half moon pose. Release your top arm to the mat and bring your right leg behind the left, forward fold. Let's call this one funky forward fold. So when I say funky forward fold, you know your floating leg is going to go behind the standing leg. Awesome. Lift that leg back up, standing split. Right knee comes up, high knee balance. Chair pose, hands come into heart center. Right knee lifts up, high knee balance. Your left elbow is going to touch your knee and go back to your chair pose. Rise up, elbow to knee, chair pose. Rise, twist, chair pose, twist, chair pose. Awesome job. Last one, twist, chair pose. Hold your twist here. Keep your hands at heart center or open up your chest. For a balance challenge, you can begin to glance backwards and maybe bring your front hand to your knee. Release back to your chair pose. Lift your heels off the ground and hold. Release your heels, forward fold, halfway lift. Take your flow through or meet me in your downward facing dog. Plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. You did great. Side number 2. Right leg lifts, 3-point down dog. Exhale, knee to elbow and sway side to side, touching knee to left elbow and then right elbow. Keep going. Push back, 3-point down dog. Step through, crescent lunge. Arms come up. Exhale, warrior 3. Flex your foot. Bend your front knee, crescent pose. Left arm comes down to the mat for a twist. Rise up, skandasana to the back of the mat. Warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Last time. Inhale, reverse, straighten your front leg. Maybe walking your feet in closer to one another. Hinge forward, Trikonasana pose. Keep in mind that your shoulders and your hips should be in one straight line. You should be feeling a stretch all the way through the side body. Launch yourself forward, half moon pose. Make sure that your floating foot is flexed. Your hips should be squared off to the wall. Release your floating arm to the mat, standing split, funky forward fold. Release your back leg, standing split. Rise up, high knee balance. Left knee should be lifted. Hands to heart center. Bend your knees, chair pose, rise up, twist to the left, chair pose, elbow to knee, chair pose, twist, chair pose, twist. Every time twisting to the left. One more time. Chair pose, twist, hold this twist. Option to straighten out your arms, glance back for a balance challenge, and maybe reaching for that knee. Release your knee all the way up to the sky, standing split. Release your leg, forward fold, chair pose, hands come into heart center, come up on your tippy toes, hold. Maybe opening up your knees for a butterfly, coming out and in with your knees. You can stay here with your butterfly legs, or if you would like, we can begin to play with your crow pose. Glance forward as you lean your weight forward into your arms. Remember that a balance challenge is more about the weight distribution than it is about your arm strength. Jump or step to your plank pose and take a flow through. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. In your down dog, walk your feet out to be mat width and walk your hands to the back of the mat. Hands come into heart center, yogi squat. A big inhale as you rise all the way up to the sky, straightening out your arms overhead. Exhale, yogi squat. Clasp your hands behind your back and forward fold, maybe taking a slow shake of your head no. Release your arms and walk yourself out to a downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up, 3-point down dog. Flex your foot. Step through, crescent pose. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, warrior 3, flex your foot. Come back down, crescent pose. Right arm finds the mat, twisted crescent, skindasana to the back of the mat. Warrior 2. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse, straightening out your front leg. Exhale, hinge forward, trikonasana pose. Launch forward, half moon pose. Make sure that your floating leg is flexed. Release your floating arm, funky forward fold. Release your back leg, standing split. Meet me in a chair pose, hands to heart center. As you exhale, twist to the right, bringing your elbow to the outside of your knee. Inhale back to center, exhale, twist to the left, opposite elbow and knee. Inhale back to center. You have the option here to play with your crow. Plant your hands down onto the mat. Look forward as you maybe lift up your feet. Good job. Meet me in your chair pose and take a twist to the right. You have the option here to open up your chest or keep your hands at heart center. You have the option to take a side crow if that's in your practice. Your front elbow is on the knee area and your back elbow is on the thigh area. And remember, weight distribution, so hinge to the side, distributing your weight. Fantastic job. Come back down to center. Inhale up for a mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Take a flow through or meet me in your downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up, 3-point down dog. Exhale, step through, crescent lunge. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior 3. Bend your standing leg, crescent pose. Left hand comes onto the mat, twisted crescent. Rise up, skandasana to the back of the mat. Warrior 2 to the front. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse, straighten your front leg. Exhale as you hinge, Trikonasana pose. Big push forward, half moon pose. Your floating foot is flexed. Release your floating arm to the ground, standing split. Take your funky forward fold. Release your back leg, standing splits. Meet me in your chair pose. Bend your knees, hands to heart center. Exhale, twist to the right, maybe opening up your arms, hands back to heart center. Exhale, twisting to the left side, maybe opening up your arms. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist opposite side. Back to center, twist over to the left. Maybe taking your side crow here. Remembering that your front arm is in the knee area and your back elbow is in the thigh area. Lean your weight into your arms, you're doing great. Even if you're not floating, you're still awesome. Meet me in your mountain pose, arms come up overhead, big inhale, exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, coming down to your bottom, and rock and roll all the way through your spine, meeting me in yogi squat. Rock and roll, yogi squat. Rock and roll, yogi squat. Stay here in your yogi squat or rise up. Awesome job, rock and roll, yogi squat, rise up, arms come up overhead, yogi squat, rock and roll. Keep going at your own pace, either staying in that yogi squat when you rock and roll or coming all the way up into a mountain pose. You're doing great. If you would like to up level, here is your chance. In that yogi squat, take a big hop. Come yogi squat, rock and roll. In your next yogi squat, hop all the way up. Yogi squat, rock and roll. You have the option to hop. You're doing great. Awesome, we're almost done. This time, stay in your yogi squat after your last hop. Catch your breath, inhaling through your nose, exhaling out through your mouth. Left arm lifts up to the sky and take wrist rotations. Opposite direction. If a bind is in your practice, go ahead and take it here. Keep glancing up to take a slight stretch in your neck. Release your arms back to heart center. This time, right arm lifts up to the sky and take wrist rotations going in both directions. If you took the bind on the first side, go ahead and take it here. Keep glancing up. This is a great neck stretch. If you're in a bind, release it. This is a fantastic time to wipe off excess sweat and take a sip of water. When you're ready, meet me on your back in a happy baby pose, grabbing on the outsides of your feet. You have the option to straighten out your right leg if you want a little extra stretch. Bend your right leg back in, Straighten out your left leg, taking that opposite stretch. Maybe straightening out both of your legs. Enjoy this stretch, it is well deserved. Release your feet. Your left leg comes on top of the right. Flex your feet and reach for the outsides of them. Pull your feet in towards your armpits. You should feel the stretch all the way through your glutes. Straighten out your arms to the side, making a T, and let your legs fall over to the right side of the mat as you glance in the left direction. Don't forget to breathe. With every exhale, allow yourself to release a little bit more into this twist. Engage your core as your legs come back to center and allow them to fall over to the left side as you glance in the opposite direction. Engage your core as your legs come back to center. Unwind your legs and rewrap them. Opposite leg is coming on top. Flex your feet, reach for them, and pull them towards your armpits. Take this time to check in with your body. Can you feel your heartbeat in your chest? Is it beating hard? Is it beating soft? Is your heart beating fast or slow? I want you to really get in tune with how you're feeling. Release your arms out to a T and let your legs fall over to the left side as you glance over the right shoulder. Keep taking note of how your body is feeling. Engage your core, bring your legs back to center, and allow them to fall over to the opposite side, glance to the left. Use your core to bring your legs back to center, unwind them, and tuck your knees into your chest. Give yourself a tight hug, maybe rocking side to side through your lower back. You did a fantastic job today, and I am so proud of you. It is time to take your well-deserved Shavasana. You have complete freedom to take whatever shape feels pleasing to you. Today, I have the soles of my feet on the mat to support my lower back, and my hands are resting on my tummy. Before you start thinking about your to-do list and before you begin to worry about your problems, once again, I want you to take this moment to truly sink into what's happening right now in your body. I want to challenge you to take 10 deep cycles of breath. Really take this time to focus on your prana, your breath, your life force. So often we are so busy and so ready to move on to the next thing, we forget to allow ourselves to be in the moment. Take this time to be present, be in the moment, enjoy right now. Begin to wiggle your fingertips, wiggle your toes. Bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a well-deserved hug. You did it! I couldn't be prouder. Roll on to your favorite side and take a fetal pose. Please be kind to yourself today. You deserve kindness. And when you give yourself that kindness, you are more likely to give that kindness to others. Kindness is a contagious chain reaction, and we can all benefit each other by just being a little more kind to ourselves. Slowly begin to push yourself up and find a comfortable seated position. Let's close off today's practice with a few slow neck rolls. Take your time as you slowly unwind your neck. Our neck does so much work for us. It's only right that we give it some TLC. If you don't know what TLC means, it means tender love and care, and every single bit of your body deserves some. Go ahead and take your neck rolls in the opposite direction. As always, it is such a pleasure of mine to lead you in practice. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's close off today's practice with the deepest inhales and exhales that you will possibly take today. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Deep, deep inhale. Exhale your hands to heart center, exhaling out all the air. Inhale, arms coming up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Deep, deep inhale, breathing in as much as you possibly can. Exhale your hands to heart center. The love and light in me honors and respects the beautiful love and light in each and every single one of you. Namaste. Once again, thank you so much for joining me today. You are such an awesome person, and I hope that you know it. If you liked today's video, please like and subscribe. New classes are posted every week. I hope to see you next time, and until then, stay awesome. Bye!